Hi there, this is Ashley with Big Sister Knows, and today I have something to share with you, and it's an experience that I had in college, and it's on this topic of abortion. Back then, I was in a class, philosophy and religion, which a lot of people have to take, regardless of what degree you're seeking. And it was an eye-opening class. It was a good class for the most part. Our teacher was an atheist, and that was fine. He's open about that, and I knew that if I were going to talk to him on certain topics that he really didn't want to hear anything from a faith perspective. So one day after class when we were talking about abortion, I knew that to explain my position of pro-life, I needed to be very logical in how I approached it. And so we were standing there were other students around, and I just was having this normal conversation with him, and I remember thinking, say something logical that will resonate with him, and my mind was thinking along that path, and all of a sudden, out of left field, was this overwhelming emotion, and it really wasn't my own. I don't really know. I didn't at the time know where it was coming from, and it just welled up in me, and it was so overwhelming that I just began to cry, and then I began to bawl, and I'm standing there in the middle of this class, and like I said, there's students around, and I'm talking to this teacher that I know. Just the last thing he wants is some girl crying in his class, and I'm just gushing, and it was so embarrassing, but I couldn't stop, and I couldn't even tell where it was coming from. Gordon's here with me. You can hear him in his swing. Hi, Gordon. So I left that day and just didn't know what to do with myself. I think I had a friend with me who was like, "What was that about?" I don't know what that's about. I'm just tears everywhere, makeups everywhere. It was horrendous. And I just started seeking God on, like, what was that? Am I losing my mind? What is going on? And he started explaining a little bit of this to me, and it was probably a couple days later that I really kind of got the gist of what had happened. And it was that the Holy Spirit began to impress on me how God was feeling about that topic of abortion. So it wasn't my emotion, it was his emotion, and that's why it was so overwhelming. And I also knew that it was not God's whole emotion on the topic. It was just this little corner piece, this little window into what he felt in that moment. So as we were talking about this subject, like it was so clinical, this babies, aborted, using very nice euphemisms and in talking about it in this esoterical kind of way, God was saying, this is real to me. These are my babies. And it still impacts me today because I still have that feeling. I know. I still have that feeling, that very raw gut feeling. It was this overwhelming grief that he has, this feeling of despair, of dismay, the most precious things in the world that he could bestow on us, that he could give us, for us to be stewards, and that he would trust us with this, and that we would throw them away. So casually. And I've never been able to approach this topic without this, because this is how he feels about it. And he is a parent. He is not one to approach the topic esoterically. He approaches it as a parent, as we would with our little babies in the room, making all kind of noise. That's how he thinks of it. And I don't normally share that with people, one, because it's hard to share. It sounds probably kind of crazy to some people. But God is a father, and these are his children. And I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope that that resonates with you, even if it didn't maybe resonate with my teacher that day. But it's my prayer that in all things that we seek God's heart. And even if it doesn't make sense, even if it doesn't meet what we think of as what is logical or what is wise by the world's standards, that we follow God's heart and that we seek his heart so that we can do that. So I hope that that blesses you today. I have a little one to pick up. Thanks for following Big Sister Knows.